What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and discussion for Saturday, April 29th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the surface map this morning, you can see yet again the western United States is fairly quiet. It's just going to be here. We're going to be taking a look at the eastern United States mostly for this weekend here. As you can see, again, the western United States fairly quiet, but we do have another system here out over the Pacific Ocean that's going to be coming in here within the next few days. We will be on the lookout for that, you guys. Here across parts of the northern tier of the United States, parts of Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, we will have a chance of some thunderstorms today, you guys. Even here across around the Chicago area, could have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. And as you move further to the south here, you guys, I'm sure this is what your eyes first come to, this big batch of heavy showers and thunderstorms here that's rolling across the Gulf of Mexico. This will be approaching the Florida's Panhandle and Peninsula later on this afternoon, evening into the overnight, where the severe weather threat will start to ramp up. All hazards will be in play here. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to your Weather on the Fly so you don't miss a beat when the Storm Prediction Center comes out with the updates. I have them in my shorts community section here at your Weather on the Fly. But as we continue to take a look here, you guys, you can see even across parts of northern Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. We will be under risk for a few thunderstorms today. Now, as we pause this, you guys, take our quick intermission, 5-10 second intermission while I get the current surface items off of here, you guys. All right, let's go. All right, you guys, as you can see, the Storm Prediction Center does have. Sorry about that, you guys. The Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk of severe weather here across parts of southern Georgia, the Florida Panhandle and Peninsula, which does include the Tampa Bay area, Arcadia, Port Charlotte, Port St. Lucia, Palm Bay, Deltona, Gainesville, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Brunswick, all these areas, Apalachicola, all these areas are in this slight risk for Inglewood. All these areas are in this slight risk for severe weather today, even Waycross in southern Georgia. And we also do have the marginal risk for severe weather, which does include the New Orleans area extending north into Jackson, Ocean Springs along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Montgomery, Alabama, extending on into even further into parts of south central Georgia and even parts of coastal South Carolina, you guys. There will be a marginal risk for severe weather. As we check the probability here, you guys. All right, let's go. All right, you can see we have 5% tornado threat here across parts of the Panhandle, southern Georgia, and the peninsula, Palm Bay, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Apalachicola. But what we will be on the lookout for is, does this tornado threat increase as we move into the late afternoon, evening, and going into the overnight hours? That is something the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned, and that is something we will be on the lookout for, you guys. You can see a 2% chance, could even be part Pensacola, as far west as Pensacola has a chance to see a tornado, even across parts of southeast Alabama, southern Georgia, and southern southwest South Carolina, you guys. As we move on to the hail probability, you can see we do have a 15% chance of some hail reaching the order of 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter here across parts of Florida's east coast and the coastal and Georgia's coastal waters. And we do have that 5% threat for some hail that does go from as far west as New Orleans, Jackson, on towards Montgomery, Charleston, South Carolina, and even the Miami area could see some hail today, you guys. Wind probability as well, the 15% chance of wind of locally damaging winds, 55 to 60, 65 miles per hour could be possible here across the slight risk area. And that 5% does encompasses, I mean, the 2%, yeah, the 5%, sorry about that, does encompasses the marginal risk, you guys. So we will be on the lookout for some isolated damaging winds as well. As of right now, no significant tornado threat. That is a blessing. No significant hail, you guys, and no significant wind as of yet. So now let's look at the HRRR, you guys, and see how this could possibly, these storms going to possibly start to materialize throughout the day. All right, let's get it up. All right, and we're going to start at about 12 o'clock, the noon hour, you guys. All right, and as you can see, we have this first cluster. Look at how heavy this cluster of showers and thunderstorms is south of the Florida Panhandle, which some of these showers could be developing and spilling inland here across parts of the coastal areas of Florida, you guys. And as you can see, we probably even going to have some showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunderstorm to develop here across parts of west central Louisiana and even extending into parts of Arkansas and northern Mississippi. As we move on to about 2 o'clock, you guys, you can see, look at this cluster of storms here starting to bow here towards the Big Bend area, Tampa. This is when the severe threat will be starting to ramp up here. Look at the heavy rain starting to come inland across the central Florida Panhandle. Look at the showers and thunderstorms starting to be increase in coverage here across parts of southern southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. As we get into the afternoon, mid to late afternoon, we will be on the lookout for some showers here across southeast Louisiana. As we move on to 5 p.m., you can see this cluster of storms starts to move into the Tampa Bay area. Look at the storms that develops here along the Florida's east coast, just off of Jacksonville. Look at the heavy rains across southern Georgia. We will definitely be on the lookout for the severe threat. All hazards will be possible here across Florida, so be on the lookout. If you do not have any kind of updates on your phone to get updates, as I said before, subscribe to your Weather on the Fly. I have the updates from the Storm Prediction Center. You won't miss a beat here at your Weather on the Fly. And as you can see here, 5 p.m., you guys, look at Jackson, Mississippi. Heavy showers and thunderstorms possibly ongoing, extending just to the east of the New Orleans area, heading along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. As we move on to about 9, 10 o'clock, all right, you guys, you can see that heavy cluster moving on out of the Florida area. Off the Florida's east coast here, we still could possibly have some heavy showers and thunderstorms along the Florida Keys, Miami area. Look at this, another batch of showers and thunderstorms starting to develop here, heading towards the Tampa Bay area. Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, the state of Alabama, even still extending here back as far west as Jackson, Mississippi. 10 o'clock this evening, we could still have some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms going on. Look here across South Carolina, all the heavy rain that's starting to approach, that's not starting to approach, that's already on, that should be ongoing across South Carolina, approaching North Carolina. That's what I wanted to say, you guys. And as we move into the overnight hours, let's check you guys and see where this is going. All right, you can see still may even have a few leftover showers here across Mississippi, but all this is starting to progress to the east here. Alabama, the Atlanta area, starting to get in on some of that heavy rain still. Look at the line of showers heading towards the Tampa Bay area, 2 in the morning. All hazards will be possible with this line. We will be paying close attention overnight for that. As you can see, South Carolina extending on up into the Atlantic coastal waters, just off of the outer banks of the North Carolina. Look at these heavy cells that's going to be possibly ongoing in the overnight hours. Look at all this heavy rain extending on up into Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, all the way up into the interior Northeast. It's going to be some heavy rains for the weekend. And as we go on to 7 a.m., you guys, as we go on to 7 a.m., which does move us to convective outlook day 2, you can see the threat does shift to the east here. We will have a slight risk across parts of the North Carolina, east central North Carolina, even parts of the southern coastal waters of Virginia here, you guys, and even again towards the Miami Fort Lauderdale area, we will yet again have a slight risk for some severe weather with a general thunderstorm risk extending through the Ohio Valley into the Northeast with all of this heavy showers and thunderstorm that's going to be continuing to move. And as I see this, I don't want to leave this out, you guys. Tomorrow morning, which will be Sunday, we will have some, as it looks like, some wintry precipitation here across Wisconsin and Minnesota, possibly on the backside of this system. So, yet again, winter is not over, you guys. As we check the categories for this slight risk, that's going to be introduced for Sunday. You can see we will have a chance, 5% chance for tornadoes here across the Carolinas and parts of the Virginia coastal waters. Also a threat here for some tornadoes across South Florida, the Miami area again for Sunday, you guys. And as we look at the hail threat, 5% hail threat for southern Florida, as well as parts of the Carolinas and Virginia. As we move on to the wind probability, 15% chance for the strong locally gusty winds, 55 to 65 miles per hour, even here across southern Florida. All right, you guys, as we continue to look at the HRRR, this will be 7 in the morning. And you can see 7 in the morning Sunday, you guys. You can see the heavy line of storms, cluster storms, still moving east across the southern Florida peninsula. Will be approaching the Miami area later on that morning. Look at the heavy rains, Charleston, South Carolina, possibly. Just off of the mid-Atlantic coast, look at all this heavy rain that's going to be pushing north towards New York City, Boston area. Even some leftover showers into parts of Alabama for early Sunday morning. As we move on to about the afternoon, you guys, you can see around the noon hour, Miami, that line of storms will be coming through your area. Off the outer banks of the Carolinas, heavy showers and thunderstorms should be ongoing. Even across parts of South Carolina, we could be having a few strong, maybe even a severe storm or two. And just look at all the heavy rain that's just encompassing the Ohio Valley and Northeast. Very much of a wet day if you're going to be out and about. As we move on to about 5 in the afternoon, you can see all of this starts to clear Florida. Even the Carolinas, there are some leftover showers here across parts of Virginia and the Outer Banks. But just now it looks at the main event is just a heavy rain across the Northeast as this system starts to lift out. Let's go to the overnight hours, you guys, to about 1, 2 in the morning on Sunday going into Monday. And you can see all of this starts to leave out of here except all the way the interior Northeast. Look at Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts. All these areas here is going to be under the gun. New Hampshire, heavy rains ongoing, even into parts of southern Canada here. The heavy rains are on the move, you guys. And as you can see here across parts of Wisconsin here, upper Michigan, the wintry precipitation will be going on overnight. And as we go as far as the HRRR take us out, you guys, that will be Monday morning at 7 a.m. And as you can see, that will move us to convective outlook day 3, which as of right now, you guys, good news. There is no severe weather threat for convective outlook day 3. We're just going to have another system, that other system coming into the Pacific Northwest, which will yet again cause a general thunderstorm risk, showers and thunderstorms here across the western United States. So we will be on the lookout for that. So, all right, you guys, if you haven't done so already, that's going to be it for this one. Yet again, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you will not miss a beat when the Storm Prediction Center posts its updates. I have them here in my shorts community at your weather on the fly. Everyone be safe, be careful, and I will talk to you all in the next one.